What a Wild Spirit Brings by Lil, Chapter 51. When the hulking males each took up a little human female to his shoulder, the lurching walk began again, each lunging footstep thundering in the marsh, sloshing muck everywhere, and sending torrents of bugs swarming away, only made Lil want to escape. She could feel her stomach clenching with the upheaving plod of her ride. He seemed oblivious. Perhaps the ongar smelled so badly because it really was filled with the vomit of all those who'd been carried by the like-named giants who lived there. Maybe the wrenching stench was caused by those who'd been stung to death by insects, their corpses decomposing in the ooze. Her thoughts turned more and more sour by the moment as she fought to constrain herself from dry heaves, or what she hoped would be dry heaves. Perhaps it would be constructive to begin training in the wilder even now, little brave one, Gimp suggested. Lil weakly brightened up, hope masking some of her discomfort as she looked to Blaxian, who seemed completely unaffected by the motion of her mount. The wild one considered only a few moments before nodding, and Lil, completely relieved, set about tying herself to the same earring again, but this time around her waist, remembering what Gimp had said about amputating the arm last time. Once to the wilder, she found Blaxian already there, awaiting her patiently under the purple sky. Lil took a moment to sigh with relief that she was no longer seasick, then skipped up to her teacher. Blaxian struck her hard, and Lil fell backwards to her bottom, like she had learned in training how to fall at the college so long ago. "What was that for?" Lil asked, head spinning. "If you do something you should not, if you attempt something you have not been advised to try, or do not do as you were told to do, I will strike you again. A slap is far kinder than some of the things that can happen here, in the wilder, and I have no desire for one with your potential to go to waste or go mad here because she became overconfident. Do you understand?" Lil nodded, ears still ringing. She almost retorted that the punch had been no mere slap, but wisely decided to keep her thoughts to herself. The Antha were a hard people, and it was for her own good. "Now, stand up. Good. Now listen carefully, little brave one. Dreams are very dangerous things. Before I tell you how to find them, you must understand the risk. To enter one's dream, that is not so hard. To get out, perhaps impossible for you. When you enter someone's dream, you become a part of it. You must time it very carefully. It is always better to go into another's dream and go into another's sleep when they are not dreaming at all, but are fully resting. This happens in 15-minute intervals usually. To jump into someone's sleep when there is activity already in their mind is very dangerous, for you will possibly have no control over what happens to you at all. If you enter while they are fully resting, you can help to shape, to guide what that person will dream of. You could send them a message. You could show them something important. You could even twist their dream into a nightmare, though if ever caught doing this, you will be sent to Shaolom by the wild ones immediately. If someone is already dreaming, you have very little ability to guide their dream at all. If they were already dreaming about you, not at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you entered the dream of an enemy and they were dreaming of torturing you or harming you, you would have no way to save yourself. You cannot leave a dream until you are at the back of the dreamer's vision. You will always be part of the dream if you enter the dream, but if you guide the dreamer may not ever even know that you were there. For this reason, we always start new dreamwalkers out with walking amongst the dreams of a friend. I will go with you at first, and will guide the dream, and you will watch what I do. Understand that until I tell you, you must never go into a dream alone. Does all of this make sense so far? I think so, Blaxian, Lil said. You think so? I mean, yes, it does. Blaxian frowned a moment, then sighed and nodded. All right, little brave one, I want you to carefully return to your court of hedges, but do not enter it. Touch the outside, and close your eyes and imagine yourself looking at your own reflection in a mirror. I can do that. Good. Go. Lil obeyed. She had only had to turn around and fly a few steps distance to do so. She touched the sharp leaves of the hedge, breathed deeply, closed her eyes, and pictured herself in a mirror. She focused on the image, and just when she was almost certain she really was looking at herself, she heard Blaxian saying her name. Lil opened her eyes to find the court still there, but now it was floating in a mass of night sky, Darkness was everywhere, an endless abyss of black, dotted only by specks of light. Only there were far more stars in the night sky, and the circles of light were evenly spaced. Blackskin was behind her. Lil felt like she was standing, even though she was certainly floating in ebony nothingness. Blackskin was standing on the empty as well, calmly waiting for Lil to take it all in. This is the true realm of the dreams, the Wilder. Is just another world adjacent to our own, where spirits wander most without consciousness. This is where the mind goes when most people do sleep. Each sphere of light is someone dreaming. Lil gaped at them all. There were so many people asleep, and all of the dreams looked exactly alike. You must not enter just any sphere. You must know who you are going to be interacting with when you enter. Blackskin? Lil asked, while still staring overwhelmed at the abundance of cloned pinprint pricks of light around her. How can I tell which one is which? The Wild One smiled knowingly and spread her arms. That is simple. Think of your friends, little brave one. Go through your list of friends until you come to one who is dreaming. But how will I know if they're dreaming? Blackskin's smile deepened. You will know. Lil licked her lips, realizing her mouth was dry, and shivered. The void she was in still felt intimidating, but she couldn't help but feel anticipation combating with her apprehension. She had never experienced anything like this before, and the excitement was pouring in, flooding out her fear. But which friend to evade upon? Gimph was awake. What about Tamrock or Mina? Or perhaps Tindra? Maybe Trixian. Wait, no, definitely not Trixian. What if Trixian was dreaming about their secret interactions? Who then? What about Ashen or Jelena or Mitten? And suddenly all of the little specks of light spun, almost dizzying, and an instant later one was there, floating directly in front of her. Lil stared at it in wonder. Mitten's dream.